tell me something. Have you heard the expression that opposite attract? Are you looking for a relationship? What type of person should you look for if you're looking for a relationship? By the way, this goes for an intimate relationship, a business relationship, any type of relationship. Question is, do opposites actually attract? And the answer is yes and no. But we need to understand what is the meaning of an opposite. Because what we think is opposite is not really an opposite. So let me give you a couple of examples to illustrate this idea to make it more clear. So if you go out with, let's say you have a blind date, okay? And you go out with the person and let's say, I don't know, your opinions are absolutely different. Let's say you're right and they're left. That's a big thing today, okay? Or they're laid back and you're very driven for success. And they're into relaxing and they're into just, going and having fun. What do you think? What would you call this? Are you different or are you opposite? Think about it. Give it careful thought. Because again, what we think is opposite is not necessarily opposite. What's the difference between opposite and different? So let me give you this insight because it's very important. Again, in any form of relationship that you would like to enter into, it's important to understand, are you going to be okay with this person? Are you going to get along with this person? If you're opposite, I will tell you that, you know what? Yes, there's a good chance. What does that mean, opposite? Opposite, look at it this way, and I'll give you the very simple analogy of a coin. The coin, at least in the US, has a heads and a tails, we call it, heads and tails. So flip the coin, put it on your hand. It's heads or it's tails. Now, are heads different than tails or are they opposite? That's a question. Are they opposite or are they different? So here's the way we should understand it. From the point of view of the coin, they are opposites. Why? Because relating to the coin itself, let's say heads would be the plus and tails would be the minus. So they are opposites of each other, but they are the same coin. They're the same coin. Two sides of the same coin. Now, if I said, heads or butterflies. What do butterflies have to do with heads? And the answer is nothing. They are different. What does that mean? Let's say in terms of a relationship. Well, you can be very driven. Let's say you can be very driven, big desire for success. And the person you're maybe going out on a date with, a potential relationship, is very driven to be a spiritual person, but they have same kind of drive, but for something different. But you can get along with each other and speak. You both have drive. In other words, if you're with a lazy person, it's not gonna work for you because a lazy person is not similar to you. It's not part of the same coin. In other words, differences in Hebrew, the word is shoneh. In Hebrew, is similar to the word sin'ah, hatred. Difference is the seed of hatred. Yes, we tend to hate. I know hate is a strong word, but we have to understand the perspective. Difference, when someone is different than us, we have the tendency to hate. The nature is to hate that person. Young children, when a child comes into the classroom and it's different than everybody else, they push him away. That's the nature of kids. They don't embrace him and say, come, be with us, be a part of our group, even though you're completely different than us. And unfortunately, today adults don't do that either. We're supposed to know better. You're different, but let me embrace you. I embrace your difference and be part of us even though you're different. Well, again, love is the determining factor here. If we can love differences, then we have a good thing going. But again, we understand opposites actually do attract. Okay, because you have something in common. You have similar characteristics at your core. That's important. If you're different at your core, it's not good for certainly a close relationship. It's just going to be all the more difficult for you. So this is something to examine. So opposites, again, opposite polarities do attract. Opposites are not really different, okay? Opposites are not different. Differences are different. Differences do not attract. Opposites do tend to be able to connect with each other. An important idea where it relates to relationships, in anything. Because, again, if you're going to do business with somebody, it's important that you have similar values in business, for success, maybe in life. You're going to have a much easier time if you can find someone who you are similar to. You know, I know many people who are of a certain nationality, let's say. They are, I don't know, an Israeli or a Russian or a Latin American, and they would prefer to do business with that type of individual. Why? Oh, well, you can speak the language. You understand? You have things in common with each other. You can relate. It sort of goes without saying in a way, because if someone is completely different than you, well, what are you going to talk about exactly? You know, imagine you're dating someone, you have zero in common, and, nothing. You don't have no similar values, you have no similar ideologies, you have nothing. You're going to sit at the table and, time is going to move very slowly. You're going to be bored as heck, and you're going to wait, when is this thing going to end? Because there's no circuitry between you. So what you have, that's the rule, by the way, according to the teachings of Kabbalah, it's called similarity form. Similars, the law of similars. That applies, by the way, to many, many things, including many healing practices, homeopathy. The law of similars. Similars connect. Things which are similar connect. Things which are similar become close together. Differences separate. Similarities bring closer together. And by the way, it doesn't even matter where you are, because you can be 1,000 miles away or on the other side of the world. When you truly have, love, and love, by the way, this is a big clue. In Hebrew, the word for love, ahava, in numerology is 13. And the word for one or unity in Hebrew is echad. Echad in numerology, gematria, is also 13. That's a hint. Because real love is becoming one with your similarities. When you're similar enough, doesn't mean the same, but you can truly relate to each other, and you can bond and bind together with each other mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Then if you can really do that, then the physical should be a breeze after that. And, I won't get into it. It's more for relationships, which we'll be talking about soon. But, a mistake many people make is they get involved with the bottom first, with relationships first, without understanding if they can actually connect together. If you're looking for a serious relationship for a future, that's not the way to do it. Okay, again, so let's reiterate. Similarities connect, similarities unify, differences separate, opposites can be opposite. They don't mean different. They are just two sides of the same coin. Differences are different. Differences do separate. And we should look for similarities, especially for the important thing. Doesn't mean we shouldn't make an effort, by the way. If differences come into our life through people, situations, we need to rise above and learn how to connect, okay? If they come to us, certainly tolerance, love, compassion is what overcomes differences. That's very important. But again, that's when it comes to us in our life by our karmic process. But again, on the other hand, there's no sense in making our life more difficult, especially in a close relationship, intimate relationship, friendships or business relationships. So that will certainly make things easier and probably way more successful. Be blessed. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you on the next video. Please give the video a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I will see you on the next video. All the best.